So let me say right off the bat, it's not as bad as I thought it was gonna be, but it's not that good either. Dolittle is directed by Stephen Graham and stars Robert Downey Jr., Antonio Banderas, Michael Sheen, and the voice talents of a slew of people: Emma Thompson, Rami Malek, Tom Holland, John Cena, Craig Robinson, Kumail Nanjiani, a whole bunch of people. And it tells the story of the titular doctor who can speak to animals. The queen is dying, and the only place to find a cure is on this secret island that he has to venture to with his animal friends. Dolittle. Now, guys, I've seen the reviews and I saw that trailer, and Robert Downey Jr., of course, right now, Robert Downey Jr. is an icon. He is somebody that everybody loves, and he's built up a lot of credibility and a lot of faith over the years. Not just from the Marvel franchise, but yes, that's it. But his films before, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, he had some solid work in there. So he's been a guy that everybody's behind 100%. And then we saw the trailer for Dolittle. And I think most people's reaction was, what? Because this is not really what you would expect after the Marvel franchise, but we were still like, it's Robert Downey Jr., and if he says it's okay, it's okay. And then I heard the budget for this movie was $200 million. So I looked at the trailer again, and I still wasn't seeing why. But I was like, okay, I'm going to see this movie. I'm going to get Bad Boys out of the way, and then I'm going to see this movie. It's not a terrible film, guys. It's just not a great one either. So let's break it down. First of all, visually, you can see where they spent the money. The CG, the special effects for these animals, by the way, all the animals look very realistic. And the special effects for these animals are really good. They're really solid. Now, I was thinking back to the Dr. Dolittle movie with Eddie Murphy, whatever, 10, 12 years ago. And I was thinking back to the animals in those movies, what they looked like. And from what I remember, they looked pretty good as well, I'm not sure if they just kind of superimposed mouths moving on these animals. If they were real animals, they seemed like they were real animals. Here it's all special effects like the Lion King, and they looked, for the most part, really, really good. So I guess that is where the money was spent. There's also some big epic visuals with like locations like the islands and Dolittle's home and that sort of thing. So yeah, they spent their money on the special effects. But special effects, good special effects, is not enough to make a movie good. Phantom Menace is proof of that. And you have to get into the story and the acting. Story-wise, this movie is very average. This movie is, now first of all, this movie is not meant for fans of my age or even like teenagers. Or it's not. It's for kids. The problem is, fans of my age and teenagers are the ones who are going to go see this because it's freaking Robert Downey Jr. You just want to see what he's gonna do next. So of course we're gonna go in and we're gonna see the story and gonna be like, what the hell is this? The Dolittle in this movie, okay, it's a little better in the sense that he actually makes the animal sounds. It can be weird, it's very weird at times, but he makes the animal sounds, so we know he's talking to the animals in their own language, which is kind of cool in comparison to the Eddie Murphy version. Robert Downey Jr. is very weird here as well. He does this very strange accent. I'm still trying to figure out what it's supposed to be, because I'm thinking he's supposed to be British, but then it doesn't sound British. It sounds like something that might be Scottish or Irish, or I don't know what that accent was. And his character here is very much like Sherlock Holmes, at least Sherlock Holmes maybe part 2, and a little bit of Jack Sparrow. There's some of that going on there. It's weird. It's not easy to get into and get behind. The other actors in the films, and by the other actors I mean the human element, with the exception of Martin Sheen, they don't leave any kind of impression. I'm sorry, Martin seemed to be having fun with this movie, with this role, and he had me smiling. He made me laugh. I couldn't help it. I just enjoyed him in this. Um, but besides him and Robert Downey Jr., nobody else really makes an impact. Antonio Banderas is here and then he's gone, and I don't care. Maybe he would have been better voice cast as an animal, because the voice casting, the animal voice casting, is pretty solid. I mean, you have people like Emma Thompson, Rami Malek, Kumail Nanjiani, who did it. He's actually the only thing I liked about Men in Black International. So you have some good voice talents at work here. But other than that, the story is where, I mean, the story is supposed to be the meat of the whole thing, and it's slim pickings, guys. It's as generic as it comes. It's a straightforward adventure, but it has no, it's missing that oomph, you know. That's something special, like what Hook had, and what movies like The Princess Bride and Willow. I absolutely love Willow, and movies like that, The Goonies, movies that you've seen as a kid and you just remember it so fondly, and you love those films forever and ever. No matter how many times you see it, they stick with you, they stay with you. This movie is missing that. It's missing that extra bit of magic. That's something there that just tells you this is an instant classic. Dolittle doesn't have that. This is a very by the numbers adventure movie that maybe very young kids, like 10 and under. I kept trying to get into my kid self to watch this movie, and I really did make an effort to disconnect from Tony Stark and not, you know, look at Robert Downey Jr. as just that character. And I think I pulled that off, and yet still the character was a little bit too weird for me. But is this movie as bad as people making it out to be? I don't think so. Now, everybody's entitled to their own opinion, but I'm really wondering, if this film came out prior to the Marvel films, would people think it's as awful as they're saying it is, or would they just treat it as another, you know, watch it and forget it type of movie? I kind of feel like it's being unfairly maligned because of the fact that everybody's thinking this is the crap that you make after Marvel movies, you know? So, guys, overall, I don't think it's that terrible a movie. It's a mediocre film. They spent a lot of money on it, but it doesn't have the heart and that sense of true adventure. It just doesn't have those things that make films like this become instant classics. It doesn't have that oomph to it. It's just a little bit too weird and a little bit too out there and a little bit too stale in certain places for this to come together as the type of film that you can say would be a children's classic. So I'm going to give Dolittle a 5 out of 10. It's an average film, so I'm giving it an average score. I just don't think it's as terrible as people making it out to be. I've seen much worse. So Dolittle gets a 5 out of 10. And that's it for this one, guys. So not much else, and I don't know what else is what's coming next week. I have to look into that. I'm a little bit tired and a little bit burnt out, and the year has just started. I wonder if, does anybody else feel like that? January just feels so long and so drawn out. But you know what? We have good stuff on the way, and that's what I'm going to look forward to. So if you guys like this video, please feel free to hit that thumbs up button. It's really appreciated. If you want to subscribe to my channel, of course, you can click on my face right over there, and you can check out past videos if so inclined. That's it, guys. So until the next one, bye-bye.